Dreams do not have a filter that your normal, polite, waking self puts up.
Welcome to the Hidden Meaning of Dreams with Sweet Georgia Pam.
It does matter what the dreamer themselves associates with those things that come up in the dream.
Spiritual director, dream expert, author, and educator, Sweet Georgia Pam is here to remind us that dreams are the answer. They're always with you. They know you better than you know yourself, and they're always trying to tell you the truth.
There's some back and forth here between you and some awareness.
And now your host, Melissa Carter.
SweetGeorgiaPam.com. I said in a past episode, that's your hub for everything Sweet Georgia Pam. I like that because that's the truth. Your hub.
Yeah.
She has so much there. Your newsletter you can sign up for. You can get private sessions with Pam. And also she's got a free guide called 6 Nights to Better Dream Recall. And she's on social media. Sweet Georgia Pam. You can DM her anytime. Pam, my love, how are you?
Yay, I'm doing all right today. How are you?
I'm good. If you're watching on YouTube, we have our headphones on today. Normally we don't. And so thus my background, I did not do the, what do you call it? The blur.
Mm-hmm.
Because it would make me look like a floating head. Anyway, if you do a background, you know that sometimes your face disappears. But anyway.
And I like a dream image.
The whole time I'm just looking at, looking at all the, all these files that I need to go through and all the stuff in my background. I don't have the Pam beautiful display of coordinated colors and paintings and stuff. And
well, you can't see what's like outside of the view of the corner of my room that I have sanctioned off to look this way. So, yeah.
The hoarding piles over
yes.
here. Yeah. So anyway.
That's right.
Well, so today, the release date of this episode, whether you're listening to it on the release date or not, is Valentine's Day. And I thought I'm somebody who loves a theme. So since it is Valentine's Day, I thought we would talk about the surprise sex partners in your dreams, right? Because Valentine's Day is all about romantic love. And you think, oh, it'd be great if, Prince or Prince Charming or Princess Peach in my son's case, was in your dream and you were intimate and you're romantic. But that's not usually how dreams work. Your sex partner in your dream is somebody that if you know them, it's not somebody you would be having sex with in the waking world. I was trying to think of a dream that surprised me. I mean, there's been plenty of surprise sex partners, some good, some bad. But the funniest was when I think I was a teenager when I dreamt this, or I was in college. And I'm a lesbian, so I am a gold star lesbian. So I've been dating women from the start, right? But I dreamt I'd slept with James Bond. So and there was yes, and he was like, my name is Bond, James Bond. Like it was like the beginning of it.
In character.
He was in character. It wasn't the actor. I think Roger Moore was probably still James Bond at the time. So, but I just remember the character and him saying that, and it was at the beginning of the action. And then I woke up like, what the hell was that? Not only was it not a girl, but it was, it was a fictional character.
Surprise.
So I'm
sure ways.
Everybody's had these dreams. So how do you interpret when you have sex with somebody in your dream that you would never imagine having sex with in your waking life?
And I would imagine that listeners are like filling in their own stories right now and like, oh my God, yes, remember like that one dream I had that was great because they're memorable. I'll give them that much. Sex dreams
because they're so
like
shocking.
Remember.
Yeah.
Okay. So symbolically, sex in a dream is intimacy. In waking life, when you have intimacy in any of its forms, it can result in sex in a dream. If, for example, you are, I don't know, I always go to like the work environment. It's my standard like example dream, but I'm going to change it up. Let's say you ride a bus to work every day, or you ride a bus to around town. Mm-hmm. And you know the bus driver and they're friendly and suddenly you have a sex dream about the bus driver, right? What that would mean is that recently some encounter that you've had has been vulnerable or intimate in like a friendship bonding kind of way. So any kind of intimacy that is not physical can result in a physical intimacy dream.
I'm trying to think with Bond. And again, I assume it was Roger Moore.
Yeah.
maybe it's a case where I felt, I don't know. Like, could you do that with a fictional character where it could be like,
for sure.
I had a reaction like, oh yeah, he is my favorite Bond, or like, I really enjoy this series or something like that.
Yes, or you could have had an intimate encounter, in your waking life recently when that dream happened that made you feel like James Bond, that made you connect those two together, the character of James Bond with this new level of intimacy that opened up in your waking life somewhere that wasn't necessarily physical, but gave you a physical reaction, because intimacy ignites our body signals.
When it's a good dream, right? When it's a sex dream that you enjoyed, with someone you never thought about.
Yeah.
Sometimes that linger, at least for me, like I let that linger throughout the morning, right? So after I wake up,
again, why they're memorable, because you hang on to them on purpose.
I'll indulge in this for a second, and then when I see them again, then I'll be embarrassed.
Not to mention the other piece of intimacy, which is that your body, the normal functioning of your body and your hormone levels changing and going through various sensations during the day, those sensations don't stop when you go to sleep. So a sex dream could be those sensations lining up to promote a sex dream with an intimate encounter or a new level of a relationship that's not necessarily physical. In waking life, those two can combine as well.
Yes, it makes sense. And you talk a lot about when you wake up and not letting the logical mind come in and explain it, right? So that's the other thing, is when you wake up, it's understanding that you're not sexually desiring that person, right? Yes. It's like you said, is that intimacy does not necessarily mean sexual, but it turns into that or manifests into that in the dream. Do I get that right?
Yes. And it's doubly difficult with a sex dream, because if it is somebody that and dreams don't have a filter that our normal waking mind uses to be like polite and societally appropriate. So dreams can throw in any character into a sex dream. So if it's somebody that it can be really tricky to not then encounter that person later in the day and blush, or only have those memories come to your mind, because dreams are experiential in nature. This is why it would be really good for all of our listeners to practice not letting their logical mind come on board and immediately try to explain. Like, if you can start to practice waking up from a dream and just making space to just be curious about the dream without going, oh, it means this, it must mean this, without like locking down with your rigid thinking or your logical mind thinking. Right. So if you can practice holding open space of curiosity, then when you do encounter a sex dream with your boss where you don't want to go to work the next day,
right,
and see said boss and try to act normal, just hold some space of open curiosity and allow yourself to come up with other metaphorical meanings that aren't the logical, literal, oh, I must have an attraction I didn't know about, that I now have to decide what to do with. Right. Not that literal. So if you can listen to this podcast and pay attention to your dreams enough that this becomes a regular way of thinking creatively, then you can insert that instead of the literal mind.
Oh, I'm sure that is a relief to a lot of people, because, I mean, there's cases where I'm sure, and, when I was first hitting puberty and didn't know a lot of people, that sometimes those dreams would manifest into people I knew, like family members and weird shit like that.
Yes.
And,
and
you'll wake up and you'll be like, I'm a freak, I'm a weirdo, and so it's like, no. Again, like you said, it's about intimacy in the literal meaning of intimate. There's a special relationship there, an emotional relationship, not a physical one. And so so I'm sure there's a lot of dreams that people have never confessed to because it weirded them out so much.
Absolutely.
And now they have permission not to feel weirded out.
Oh my God. I hope that is true. I hope that any level of relief is settling over somebody right now listening to this, because this is why I love dreams so much. Because once I realized, like, oh, it's not saying that. Oh, it's just holding some symbolic representation of a emotion I went through yesterday. Oh, well, that's actually cool and helpful. And it does the opposite. I'm not anxious or embarrassed to go encounter that person. I'm curious now.
Yeah, that they, a person may affect me that way on a emotional level, not a physical level. One last thing before we go, there may be people who want to have sex dreams about certain people. So
my mind just went right to the same place. I'm like, but also.
Yes. So for people who would be like, okay, I have a coworker or I have somebody that I'm not intimate with in a sexual level, and I would like to be, and I would like to at least experience a dream with them just to have something with them. Is there anything people can do to control their dreams?
Oh, you're going to get me into some trouble. Well, this is the thing. I think because we can't control our dreams, it makes them more trustworthy. So it's almost like your dreams are a better friend to you than you are. So
that's a great way to put it.
What I would want to do in that scenario, if I have a hardcore crush on somebody and I'm like, okay, why can't I control my dreams and set up this scenario? I would approach it a different way. I would ask my dreams to show me a path to get closer to that person. I would eliminate the sex piece altogether, and I would just say, like, what's the bonding? What is like the next place that we can bond a little bit further or become a little bit closer? Because if sex dreams are symbolic of new levels of intimacy, then that's what I would go for. In waking life is like, where else do we sync up emotionally? I know that's not the answer.
It's a buzzkill. Fine buzzkill, Pam. All right. So if you would like to,
I'm not falling for your traps.
Learn more about Pam, go to sweetgeorgiapam.com. She does one-on-one sessions. So if there is a dream you have, recurring, disturbing, wonderful, like anything you want to unpack with Pam, she's happy to help you see what your dream might be telling you. If you're somebody that has a hard time remembering your dreams, go to sweetgeorgiapam.com. She has a free guide called 6 Nights to Better Dream Recall to help you out. She's here to help you. And you can always DM her on social media, Sweet Georgia Pam. Pam, my love, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I hope everybody has the sweetest dreams possible. And I love your heart earrings.
Thank you. Thank you. That was today.
I just want to give you a little shout out.
Happy Valentine's Day. If you're watching on YouTube, happy Valentine's Day.
Super cute.
The content in this podcast is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Pam Muller is not a licensed mental health professional. If you or someone you know suffers from severe, persistent nightmares, please seek medical help.